Good morning, everybody. Jesse's Schoolcraft Family Farmstead. Hay season, well, let me rephrase that. Our first cutting in hay season is almost over. We've got just a couple more little places left to bale, and then everything on our first cut will be done. This morning I'm heading back down to Hacker Creek Road and load up our last semi-load for Doc Phillips, at least for now anyway. That'll be a total of 68 5x5s and 16 5x6s, so that's a total of 84 bales that we've loaded up on a semi for him. But that's going to be what I'm doing this morning, and then show you some other footage that we've taken so far from Baling Hay, from whether it's been hay that I have tedded down the road, or some raking that I did, and some baling that Uncle Larry was doing. But we've been really busy with hay. Hasn't made nearly as much as we hoped. It's just now waited till here recently to start raining, but we got a pretty heavy storm yesterday, quite a bit of damage. There's still some people in town without power. So I don't know. June, I think I heard on the news that June was the 4th driest June in this area on record. And July, though, is supposed to be a bit more rainy. We'll see if we get much of a second cut because of it. I hope we do. We certainly need it because the hays have been in short supply. I can't remember if I said this in another video, but most fields I think that we've baled have been producing around 2/3 at best of their normal first cut quantities. We're going to be hurting for hay, but hopefully the second cut can do better than we anticipated, if July ends up being as rainy as they say it's going to be. I'm heading down the driveway right now. See, I got to take one bale with me. We got 28 bales there to Hacker Creek Road, and I had to take one more to make a full load. It can haul 29 5x5s. Getting ready to pull onto the road right now. Well, the semi has arrived. I'm getting ready to start loading. Got my first one ready. He's just getting the trailer set up. 29 of them will be on there when we're done. There goes the last load on the semi. 29 more. Got her jam-packed on there. I'm gonna head down the road. We've got a few more bales down the road, and Caitlin's gonna come pick me up there. I'm gonna leave the tractor there. We're gonna load those up, I think, later this evening, I believe. Now I'm over here on Jordan Road. Uncle Larry started cutting this hayfield yesterday, and he called me last night close to 10 o'clock, and he was still cutting, but he asked me to come finish it. So came straight here. I'm gonna finish cutting this for my softball games this evening, but should make good hay. We've already got it all sold if everything goes according to plan. I'm a little worried about the hay this year because we haven't had any rain, any good measurable rain, in probably 3 weeks. And I'm a little worried that we're gonna be in short supply on hay this year. So hopefully everything goes well. patch is done. Hopefully it'll make a good amount of hay. Mentioned earlier that got it all sold. Had a guy call me yesterday from Elnora, owns a vet clinic down there. Hometown Veterinary, I believe is what it's called. So this hay should all be going to Doc Phillips and his registered Angus herd. Gonna make this all into 5x6s, I believe. And hopefully he'll be able to start picking it up next week. Raking done. I'm just watching Larry the Legend finish his baling. Probably gonna tell me to go home. Well, that's just a little update on the hay making. It's definitely been better in years past than it is this year. We are awfully short on hay this year. I may have already said this in another segment, I can't remember, but there's a guy that Uncle Larry bales for, does custom baling. He just goes down there and bales his hay, and that guy cuts and rakes it for Uncle Larry, and he goes down there and makes 5x6 round bales. I believe he said last year in the first cutting they got 97, I believe it was 97 square or 5x6 round bales, and this year made 62. So it's been thin. We have sold almost everything of what we have. We've just got a few bales here at home, and I think some of them may already be sold. We just have to take them to the buyer. I'm getting the goats taken care of for the evening and gonna head to dinner here shortly. But it is a hot and humid day. Thankfully though, you can see the last few days we've had heavy smoke, and I'm sure you've seen all over the news about the Canadian wildfires. Pretty clear now, thankfully. We got some pretty bad storms yesterday. Had quite a few tree limbs blown over around town, and some people, I believe, still don't have power. which I certainly feel for them. When we had the tornado back on March 31st, we were without power for around 45 hours, I believe. So I certainly feel for them, and Uncle Larry saved the day with his generator, helping us keep the freezer going so that we wouldn't lose all of our food. But thankfully we only lost power for about 30 seconds, surprisingly. 'Cause trust me, I was out here getting the goats taken care of as quickly as I could, and that wind was fierce when that storm first blew in yesterday. But oh, I almost forgot. One thing I did want to show you. Well, there are the goats. The babies are getting awfully big. I've got to get rid of the 2 bucklings. If you want a little goat, I'll make you a deal. Wanted to show you this though. Look at my manure pile plant. It is huge. Still can't figure out what it is. Not 100% sure. I still think it's pumpkin. I don't really want it to be. I would prefer it to be squash, because squash is yummy, but I think it's pumpkin. But we'll see. It's growing. I've got a few blossoms. I'll show you those here in just a second. This one here is probably the blossom that is farthest along that I have seen so far. I haven't looked at the other side yet, but you can see plenty of others that aren't quite as far along as well. You can see I need to get some 7 sprinkled on here. I hate doing that, but sometimes you just got to do it. Unless you have another suggestion to help get some of those squash bugs taken care of so that they don't start chewing up the leaves like that one there. But I might try to remember to do that this evening. But you can see as I step back here, and the cat's wanting to show off too, it's taken over probably a little over half of the whole manure pile here. It is, I think there are actually originally 2 plants. But yeah, I better go get some 7 and sprinkle on the whole thing. The goats seem to think it's funny to make a mess of the round bale here. They love rolling all over it if they can. I think these 2, yeah, these are the 2 need to get rid of. Anybody want some goats? Little goats becoming not quite so little? I'll make you a deal. That's about it for this evening. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Drew and my unofficial YouTube agent always reminds me to do that. So make sure you like and subscribe, please. Try to get us to the what do they call that? Monetization? Is that what they call it? Where you can start making money? You have to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's 4,000 viewing hours, I believe. We're a lot closer on the subscribers. I mean, we still got a ways to go, but as far as the bars go on the little monetizing tab, I think we're at, last I checked, we were at 178 subscribers, which I guess for, when did I start this? I think April, maybe. So that would be almost 3 months. Not bad. Pretty good little start. It's kind of flatlined a little bit. And I think, like I said, 4,000 viewing hours. But if you can do that and spread the word, please, I would greatly appreciate it. And hopefully you've enjoyed the chronicles of our hay baling adventures. Hopefully second cutting will do better than I expect. Maybe with some good rain here in July like they're calling for, it'll end up turning out okay. But we'll see you next time. Take care.